Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 14. I am slightly informed Phil, and this is mostly oblivious Raymond.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So was going to talk about like a one subject topic today, but the week's been kind of random, and there's a lot of things in the news. And the thing I really wanted to talk about, I want to do some more research into. So
Okay.
I was going to talk about solely the Epsteen stuff and the whole story there. And like, because, you know, it's been in the news a lot lately with the whole, oh no, the Epstein thing was just a hoax. Nothing to see here. Nothing happened here. So we'll dive into it a little bit and what's going on and some theories on it. But one of these days, I do want to do like a full episode on the full story. But the problem is in researching it, there's a lot more to unpack than I thought. I didn't realize the shit with Epstein well, you know, he got arrested before this past time where he killed himself, right? Like he's
been arrested twice then?
yes. So
No, I didn't know that.
yeah. So he was originally arrested down there in Florida for the same charges. Got like almost no sentencing, and then was basically on more or less house arrest. He like ran the jail that he was in, and that was 10 years before he got busted again.
Oh.
So he got busted back in 2008. So like this should have been going on for a very, very long time. So we'll get into a little bit of that stuff today. But before we do, as always, guys, if you like what we do, subscribe, follow, like, comment, and you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify.
And if you do, you get to hear about Phil's personal experiences on the island.
Ha ha ha. Not funny at all. Which actually is a good segue into the thing that I want to highlight onto this. Everything around this stuff is very, very speculative. Everything is alleged. The only things we really know for sure is that Epstein was arrested back in 2008, 9, whatever, for underage sexual activities with minors. I forget the specific charge, but that's basically what he was charged of back then. But he did some sort of special deal where like he got off with a lesser sentence than he should have. Like
How much time did he do?
He got sentenced to 18 months total.
Wow.
And he did 15 of those 18 months before he was basically like let go with like an ankle monitor for like the last 3 where he could freely travel everywhere. So like real weird happenings, almost like no charges. And I'll go into that a little bit more. But again, for legal reasons with all of this stuff, everything is very speculative around every single one of the powerful people involved. We know nothing about the relationships between these people other than they knew Jeffrey Epstein, which doesn't necessarily mean they were part of anything, because there's the guy was a creep. The guy was fucked up for sure. We know this, but there's so many instances where people are friends with people that have these dark sides to them, and people are like, I had no idea he was such a great guy, or they were such a wonderful person. And that's because they usually do live these double lives where on one side is their normal everyday life, and on the other side is their very predatory behavior that they're doing. So again, for legal reasons, don't sue. Everything involved with it is hearsay for the most part and allegedly, and nobody knows for sure. And hopefully we'll know for sure one day, which is kind of the whole reason why everybody's up in arms about this thing. So, again, I want to go deeper dive into the stuff, but it's very interesting because the stuff that he got busted for back in 2008, what he was doing at his, was in Palm Springs, Florida. He was having underage girls come and give him massages.
Okay.
And so what they were doing was during these massages, he would be completely naked. And he would try to get them into different states of undress and do different things. And like several girls testified about like the stuff that they were doing. But the real fucked up part in what he was doing and the fucked up situation behind all of it was the fact that if a girl came in and she didn't want to like do anything further and didn't want to touch him, what he would do is use that girl to recruit other girls. So the girls that weren't engaging in what he wanted to do, he would tell them, listen, if you get any of your friends over here to like give me massages, the first time you get a friend over here, I'll pay you like $200 to get them over here and introduce them to me. And then like the one of the girls with the thing like interviewing on how this all went down was basically saying she could tell what the girl did with him based off of how much money they walked out the door with at the end of the massage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So the really fucked up part is people think like, okay, you do these kind of things, you're going through some kind of like a dark underground service, like there's some like ringleader of people like facilitating these things for you. No, in this case, it was girls tricking other girls into this shit and like perpetuating it onward. So the girl said like she would tell all her friends and then their friends would tell their friends. And like it was just like facilitating this like pyramid scheme.
Gross.
Yeah, but like, can you imagine like that? Like you're like fucking like setting your friends up like that. And it's just like, listen, we all knew loose people in high school. So like if it's like the group of like, you know, the more promiscuous people doing that kind of thing, cool. But like you can't like put it in the same quantifiable zone because dudes do gross shit all the time. So like if an old lady was paying me as a teenager like $400 to just like massage her naked, I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of gross, but it's $400, you know? Like, dudes dive into sewers, so, like, we can compartmentalize that shit a little bit more. It's just like, whatever, it is what it is. But also, there's also weird dudes that are, like, into that kind of shit anyway that would be like, oh, yeah, if you told your friend, they'd be like, how do I get on that deal? In fact, like, we wouldn't tell our friends because we'd be too worried, like, oh, man, I'm going to lose that deal to somebody else. But yeah, so they were just like trapping their friends into this, and they were all like trying to make money. So like it tended to be what they were doing was he was targeting the schools that were like the lower income schools in like Palm Springs. Palm Springs is so much fucking money. So the people like in the schools like that were like on you know, they would need like assisted living or shit like that. So like where $200 is a lot of money to you, you know what I mean? But yeah, did this like pyramid scheme where they're all recruiting each other. It was just crazy because the amount of money that he was paying, like he must have been spending, I would guess from the sheer numbers that these girls kind of reported, I would guess that he was probably spending like at least $1 million a year on these girls coming in and giving them massages. And that's just at his like Palm Springs stuff. That's not to mention the island where he was having people like brought in and out. Where like when Jeffrey Epstein would land, the I thought it was called. It's not actually called the. I don't. You can look it up, but I don't think it's actually called the Lolita Express. You look up what Jeffrey Epstein's.
I hope not. Jesus.
Yeah, can you look up what his private plane was called? What was Jeffrey Epstein's private plane called?
Epstein's plane name.
I think people nicknamed it that, but I don't think he actually named it.
Do they name planes the same way?
No, what he would call it.
Okay. It says it was nicknamed the Lolita Express.
Yeah, but I think locals gave it that nickname in the Virgin Islands because he would land, and there would be so many young girls that would like pop out of the plane when he landed. They started nicknaming it the Lolita Express.
Okay.
The second time is like, no, we can't tell you that.
Google AI says name associated with this plane is linked to illegal and harmful activities. Providing this information is not possible. I mean, bravo on that, Google AI, but
well, I mean, it's not
like you could just.
It's not illegal. That's the name of a movie. That movie's fucked up too. But like,
there's a movie with that name.
Yeah, isn't that isn't that the name of the movie where it comes from, Lolita or whatever? Oh, so I'm pretty sure. Look it up.
Yeah, I don't see anything about what Epstein actually called this plane.
Yeah, it's they're naming it after the movie. It's got that very famous actor in it, where like the dude's like older and he goes after the young girl or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Look, see, 1997 movie
and a book.
Yes, it's based off the book.
And a 1962 film. Okay.
I don't think I'm thinking of the 1962 film, but click the 1962 film. It might have been, because the actor that's in it is very famous. No, it's the 97 one. Yeah, if you go to the 97 version, you'll see the actor, and you'll recognize him immediately. I forget what his name is.
But it's the same shit.
Yes.
The 1962 version, yeah. Infatuated with young adolescent.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. But yeah, so the like he would land on that plane, and so many like young girls would pop out of it that the locals started nicknaming it the Lolita Express.
Gotcha.
And it's fucked up because they said that the girls would often come off wearing like college like sweaters and shirts. Mm-hmm. So like as almost to like obfuscate like, oh yeah, they look young, but they're in college. They're college girls. They're not high school. There's nothing weird going on here, especially because I looked this up and doing the research on this because I'm like, oh my God, there's so much fucked up shit. But the age of consent varies wildly around the world. So, as we all know from our lovely New Jersey senator, congressperson, whatever, that question the one time about like, oh, did you have sex with this kid this age? Like I think they were like 14 or 16. And their answer was like, no, I didn't. But if I did, it's legal there, which is like the worst answer to give possible. But like, okay, there are varying age of consent laws over the world, and some of them are really fucked up. Some of them are really great. Some of them are like over the top. I think there's ones now that are like 21.
Jesus.
Which is crazy. But, well, not necessarily crazy as long as that's when it's considered adult for everything else. Mm-hmm. I think that's acceptable. If everything else, okay, 21's an adult. But if you're considered adult at 18, and then weird. I don't want to get in a conversation of that. It's weird. It looks bad. No matter how you talk about it, it's weird. I don't want to talk about it. But I looked it up for this. I'm like, okay, you've got a private island in the Virgin Islands. Did he do it because they have weird age of consent laws there? Nope, it's 18. So everything he did there with anybody...
Also illegal there.
Yes, fully illegal. So, yeah. So they suspect that what he was doing was running a trafficking ring on that island to get these underage women for powerful people elsewhere. And I say speculate because to my knowledge, and again, I want to do more research on it, but to my knowledge, there is actually no evidence or any implication of any of that that's ever happened. So right now, with the whole Trump rigmarole, they're working to unseal the grand jury testimony, which should give more details about what he was arrested for in 2019, because it sounded like in 2019, those arrests was going to implicate other people outside of him. Now, was there anything in the arresting documents definitively implicating those people? No, but I think the idea was to come at him with enough hard evidence of his own crimes and a steep enough sentence to turn him state witness and say, okay, we'll reduce your time if you roll on these people and tell us who else was involved. You know what I mean?
As they do.
Yeah. So we're waiting for that testimony to get unsealed because my big...
did he actually provide testimony before?
No.
Oh, okay.
From the grand jury stuff. So, to get indicted by a grand jury, there needs to be testimony and enough evidence to be indicted on these charges.
Okay.
So it's working to unseal that. Now, there's fights back and forth right now on that because people have probably heard this week Congress put the stuff to a floor vote on these things. The problem was the first iteration of the floor vote that they put out told the Justice Department to release all the evidence on the website and gave them 30 days. And I'm sure this is not the only reason they voted no, but Republicans voted no against it because it wasn't descriptive enough to say that they don't have to put all the graphic child material on there. It said all of the evidence. It didn't say the evidence not pertaining, but... Oh, it's rain. Like, what the hell am I hearing out there? But yeah, it didn't say like all the evidence not pertaining to the victims and not putting. So they want to make that language stronger. But also they tried to attack this thing on top of a bill that they were voting on, and they were like, no, separate. Yeah. These are separate things. Because another thing I want to talk about that happened this week. This was crypto week, so they tried to attach this thing to a crypto bill, and it's like, come on, guys, what the fuck? So either way, the optics are terrible because Trump's been warring back and forth with people on this, and then they put the shit to a vote, and every single Republican's like, no. And it's like, okay, guys, the optics here is not great. Like, regardless of what you want to do, the optics isn't good. So if they want to save it, what they should have done is proposed a separate, like, amendment of their own saying, okay, no, like, we need the evidence released, but centering out this, and this. The problem is with all of it, and no matter what we get, it's going to be redacted to a degree anyway, because when underage victims are involved, you have to protect their identities. That's almost like every state, you're not allowed to know their names and identities for those things, which gets in a difficulty in some situations because some states are so strict like with that. If you get hit by somebody in a car accident and they're underage, you're not given their details. But you know how hard it is to file like insurance claims and reports when you're not allowed to know the information about the person in the accident, and your insurance company is not allowed to know either. They just know the insurance. They are not allowed to have the details of the person who hit you because they're a minor, so they're protected, which is good. We should protect children from things, but I think for things like that where you're in a car accident, like, all right, but whatever, it's the way the law is. So they voted on that stuff. It got voted no. Then they tried to put another one. And again, the one that they quote unquote voted no on the second time was because they were trying to get them to concede the floor so that they could vote on the thing. And they said, no, we're not conceding the floor because they were trying to pass the crypto bills at the time. So the crypto bills spent 9 hours going back and forth before they passed them. And if they had conceded the floor, that would have been it. That would have ended the vote. So, like, while the floor is open for those bills, you can take things to a vote multiple times, which people don't really understand. So, like, you know, the way Congress works, it's not like we vote once and the nays have it and we're done. If you keep the floor open for it, you have time to go back and forth and convince people and say, okay, you guys are holding out. What do we need to do to get this passed today? And then they go back, they make backdoor deals. They'll put amendments in. They'll do whatever they need to do, and then they'll bring it to vote a certain amount of times. Now, I think there is a limit on how many times you can bring it to vote again in one session before they just go like, okay, no, it's kaput. But yeah, you can vote on things multiple times. But the thing that really started all of this, and it's so weird, and so many like weird occurrences all at the same time, was. What was it, 2 weeks ago now? Diddy got off, like, more or less scot-free, which was, like, wild with all the stuff that was going on there. You're like, how the hell did he not really get found guilty of much of anything?
Money.
Mm-hmm. So that goes down, and then a week or so later, then we go and get told, okay, there is no Epsteen client list. It just doesn't exist. There's nothing there at all. Stop asking about it. And then we say, well, that's weird. How about you, like, prove this? And they're like, okay, here's the video footage. Video footage of the prison, nobody going in and out, except it's missing a minute. And then people dive deeper into that video that's missing a minute, right? Because it goes from, like, 11:59 to, like, 12:01 or some shit like that. Like, it skips, like, a whole minute when midnight hits. Then they give a flimsy excuse of, oh, it's old camera systems, and the way that the old camera systems work is when they reset at midnight, it misses a minute on the time stamping.
Come on.
Like, what? How old are these camera systems? What are you talking about? Like, worrying about time not resetting properly hasn't been a thing since Y2K. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? But yeah, so they're like, okay, it's missing a minute. And then people deeper dive on the video because the video was spliced together in a video editor. They're able to tell that because the guys were so dumb that when they did their editing, they didn't put it back into a different video processing thing to make it look like a raw file again. They were just like, oh yeah, here's the edited file. And it's like, oh my God. So then when they looked at the edited file, they realized that it was 2 video clips spliced together. And actually between the 2 clips, 3 minutes is missing.
Oh.
And they're like, see, nobody came in and out, except 3 minutes is definitely enough time for somebody to come in and out of that ward on that video, or at least go in. Maybe not see them come out, because later, when it's the next day, maybe that's when they go out in the chaos. But definitely enough time for somebody to get in 3 minutes in the little hallway section that they show. So that looks bad. Then when people question it more, because we're like, hey, both the attorney general, the head, the director, and the assistant director of the FBI have been saying for months now, there's a list, we're totally going to release it, the documents are on our desk, and now they just 180'd it. They're like, what's going on there? And then Trump flipped out, like, why are we worrying about all this shit while all this other stuff's going on, and look at all these great things that I'm trying to do. Which, okay, fair. He's done a lot of great things, and I get it. He's pissed off because he's not getting credit. But also, people want to know if people who abuse children are running the fucking world. Like, this, I think this is a valid question. We need to know, like, one way or another. And it's not hard. Unseal the documents in a way where it doesn't give out any information pertinent to any current criminal court cases, which I don't think are going on. I think they were sealed. And doesn't give away sensitive information of the victims. And just definitively show once and for all, okay, nobody else was under investigation here, solely him, and he just knew a lot of powerful people. Because again, there's fucking creeps and weirdos all over the world. So to think that very rich people do very weird things on the back end, I'm 100% sure that shit goes down, and they may not know. Or everybody knows everybody's got their weird particularities, because a lot of fucking people would joke, oh yeah, Epstein likes them young. Now, how young and what they were alluding to, who knows? Some people might be alluding to that, like, every time he was like walking around different places, he would have like two like women that were like 18, 19 following him around everywhere. Not side by side with him, but like following him in tow, not saying a word. Dude, the guy was a fucking weirdo. He had so much strange shit. But, like, that's the problem. When you get a lot of money, you start indulging those weird habits, because what the fuck else are you going to spend your money on? And it's a very dangerous thing. So, especially in cases like him, where he was doing, like, oh, damn, it's really coming down.
Yeah.
Where he was doing, like, weird finance stuff, right? He wasn't really making anything. I think those people are the most dangerous, because the people that get to that level of wealth from growing a business continue to grow the business. That's their hobby. That's how they got there in the first place. But the people that kind of just walk into money, like, okay, now I've got the money, and now I can indulge this fucking weird part of me. And the thing that I really want to know and would really like to see investigated further, right? It's one thing when these things happen and it's a guy living in suburbia, or a woman, because women do this shit too. I don't want to make this thing like it's a certain gender direction, because men and women do this shit. We see school teachers all the time get arrested for this kind of stuff. The difference in those things is it's happening in the privacy of their own home, where they're the only person that resides there. This motherfucker had staff at all of his buildings. Every single one of his houses had staff, and the staff not only greeted these people at the door, but like saw them coming in and out multiple times. How the fuck did not a single one of those people get arrested or implicated in anything? That's the part I don't understand, and or roll as state witness on them, because we don't hear about any of his former staff rolling state witness. The only time we hear something like this, and this is where the whole list came from to begin with, was there was a guy that worked as like a butler or something at one of his homes. And he purportedly had a client list that he got from Epstein, stole Epstein's client list, which included a bunch of names of like all these underage girls, all these powerful people, and he tried to sell it online for $50,000, which if you have something like that, I feel like it wasn't a lot of money. But trying to sell stuff that implicates people in a crime is illegal, surprise, surprise. And that guy also got 18 months, which I feel is an appropriate amount of time for doing something like that. But it's just funny that he only got 18 months when the guy that did this shit back in the day only got 18 months, just barely, because they said that he treated his jail time like a fucking spa resort.
I'm sure.
Because when he was in jail, they said he had like a whole wing to himself, where his jail cell wasn't even locked, just like coming and going as he pleased. and eventually had like work release where 16 hours a day he could be outside of the jail at his home. So he basically just had to go there to sleep. Fucking crazy. But yeah, so that's the only thing that I could really find of that implicates any kind of client list, quote unquote. And again, I really want to know more. I want to I would research more. And the other thing that implicates people is the flight logs. Is the thing that everybody like harps on, like how many times people flew back and forth in his private plane. But again, that's kind of a nothing burger because people don't understand that rich people usually fly on each other's private jets. So like you own a private jet, and depending on like where you're at or what's going on, you might have your private jet there. Your private jet might be somewhere else. So you go to your rich friend and say, "Hey, I need to use a jet. Can I borrow your jet to fly here at this time? You could use my jet the next time, whatever." The flight logs there like cross-pollinate all the time because these rich people all work in the same circles. You know, it'd be like if I had a second like summer home or something somewhere, and like you were in the area, and you're like, "Hey, can I like stay at your house for a week?" Yeah, sure, no problem. Like I wouldn't even charge you. You know what I mean? Because we're friends. Like that's how that works. And all these people were rubbing elbows together. They're all doing business deals together. Like that's how this shit works. Now, again, who knew what? Who's seen what? There's the rumor that, like, you know, eventually Trump kicked, well, not a rumor, we know he did. Eventually Trump kicked Epsteen out of Mar-a-Lago and permanently banned him for allegedly he was making moves on a server there who was like 16. And he was like, "That's it, you're done, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're not welcome back." There's speculation both ways of like, did he completely cut ties with Epstein after that point, or did he maintain a relationship but at arm's distance? Who knows? There's a lot of people after the 2008 shit that kind of pulled back a little bit, but there's also people that doubled down and are like, "Nah, he's not a creep," especially because the time, like the sentencing was so little. So they were like, well, maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe it's not like what we think it is. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like if I knew someone they got arrested for engaging activities with a minor, I'd be like, nope, don't fucking talk to me again. Especially if you got kids, I'd be like, get the fuck away from me. But yeah, so the worst part was in all this, we have the Diddy thing, and then Trump comes out with this stuff afterwards, pushes back. Why are you asking about this shit? Then it's been in the news cycle for like the past 2 weeks now. That's all everybody's talking about. There's other stuff going on, but there's nonstop. It's just Epstein, 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 Epstein. And then eventually Trump doubles down on the shit and he says, if you're fucking still believing in this and you're not one of my followers anymore, and you're like, I don't need you, fuck off, fuck you people. He went on this like super long twit longer where he was just like basically on True Social, like, if you still believe in this thing and you're basically taking the side of the Democrats and just forwarding their hoax, and I don't want to be associated with you anymore. And I'm like, that's a terrible stance to take because people want to know what the fuck's going on. And if you just double and triple down on it, then it's like, okay, well, now I feel like there is something going on. Because, like, it's so easy to be like, okay, there's nothing here. Here's the evidence. That's it. That's all we need. We just need a release of that. And now I know there will be people when that happens that they won't believe it anyway.
And it's falsified.
But there is a very credible thing that, like, regardless, because people are like, oh, Trump's implicated in it. I don't think that's true, because if he was, for all the stuff they went after him when Biden was in power, if they had falsified that, or if he was on that list in any way, they would have released it. Because they went after him for everything else, and that would have been the easiest fucking thing to get him on. So either he's not on that list, or if they went after him, they'd have to go after everybody else, and it would be such a fucking problem that it would just cause so much tremendous issues. Or, again, it's only Jeffrey Epstein, and there's no ties to anybody else outside of him. It's just him doing his own criminal activities. So who the fuck knows? Maybe we'll find out one day.
But there's a lot of people on the list, and the list isn't detailed enough about who did and knew what.
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on in this time that make me wonder if the whole reason why now suddenly there's nothing to see here, don't talk about it, move on with your life and stop fucking questioning it, is I wonder if part of the deals that have been going on recently, that Trump made a deal with somebody that said, okay, if you do what we want and play ball, I will make this go away for you and it'll never be fucking brought up again. Because the other thing that happened as a side effect of all this is basically Prince Andrew was exonerated of all association with this. And he's just like, okay, you're good to go now. Don't worry about it. It was just a hoax. And people are questioning, like, okay, well, if he didn't do anything, why is Ghislaine still in jail? So I wonder, because he just passed the big, beautiful bill. He's also working on making deals with tariffs. He's got a whole bunch of other stuff that he's trying to get through right now. I wonder if as part of this, he made a deal with somebody, whether it's Europe because he's trying to get tariff deals going in Europe, whether it's here in the U.S. or a combination of the three, because he also had the big NATO meeting where he just said, okay, I will bury this shit once and for all. I'll fall on it. And he probably thought, because MAGA listens to him for the most part, that if I say don't pay attention to this, they'll just get in line. But he fucked up, because the thing that MAGA supporters care about more than anything, and was a big factor in the last election, is they care about children. Because a big part of the last election with the whole like trans issue going on was not really the trans themselves, because I think everybody could agree, once you're adult, we don't really give a fuck what you do. You wanna wear a dress out in public. You wanna transition from a man into a woman, woman into a man into a reptile. We don't give a fuck. You don't hurt people. We don't really care. The problem was they were transitioning kids, usually without their parents' knowledge, and there was a huge component of people that voted that were voting for parental rights, of being like, no, fuck you. You don't get to tell my kid what to do. Like, they're my kid, not your kid. So I think Trump fucked up by thinking that people were going to be okay with just like, okay, we're gonna sweep under the rug a guy that abuses children. It's like, no, we need to know what's going on. And it's a weird thing too, because I know the guy's dead, and technically they're like, okay, he's dead, so there's no crime, no foul. I really do think in certain cases like that, where the people are implicated in so many things, and maybe not every time we do it, but I feel like we should continue the trial even if the guy is dead. Now, he can't give his testimony, but there's enough other people that, like, okay, we should run some sort of trial to see this through to the end, to be like, okay, had he not killed himself, what would the outcome have been? Because if we do this kind of things that close that loop, that's it. Then you know, okay, if we had run trial, he would have got life in prison, and he worked alone, or worked with Ghislaine, and that was it.
At least uncover enough evidence to like figure out what happened.
Yeah, because the other thing that I want to do more research on, because that side I didn't get too much information on, there's also allegations that he was working with one or multiple intelligence agencies, CIA, Mossad, like all these people. And so I want to look down that like route, but they say he might have been a spy or had some dealings going on there.
Interesting.
Because his money like kind of came out of nowhere. So it's almost like he had like a CIA black fund that that started his whole thing to put him in these inner circles. There's also people that talk about he had dealing with scientists. So he had things with Stephen Hawking multiple times. He ran multiple science conventions on his private island. So there's a weird like implication there too, that like, because the government does like to keep an eye on cutting edge scientists to see what they're doing and what their research is going to bring and who they're sharing it with. Because every government in the world wants to be the most powerful nation in the world. So they're not going to sit there and be like, oh, okay, you're coming up with this cutting edge technology and you're talking to your Chinese counterparts. Like, fuck no. I mean, we know this from Einstein. Einstein had basically the CIA following him in Princeton until the day he died. They were like, yeah, don't you tell the fucking state secrets, you asshole. So, yeah, there's also implications there that, like, he might have been blackmailing scientists to keep them in line. Of like, oh, okay, well, now you've all been here, and, oh, you guys like the staff that's been serving you all weekend long? Yeah, they're all underage. Like, it's weird stuff. But again, that Diddy, I don't know. I want to do more research. I want to do a deeper episode on this one day, but it's just the way that this has been handled has been so poor, and it's just like so disappointing because it's like all you had to do was like, okay, listen, guys, there's nothing going on here. I understand your concern. I understand why you are upset. We will get you a detailed reporting that will break these things down, and so everybody will be satisfied. That's all you got to do. If you had done that, everybody would have been like, okay, that's acceptable. We believe in you. We'll trust you. We'll wait for this report to come out. Because the other thing that they haven't released either is this was an FBI investigation. So to go forward to this anyway, somebody had to write a report in the government and say, this is what's going on. This is what we're going after him for. This is what we want to bring the charges. Just bring that report out because an independent agent wrote that back in the day. And it was under Trump's previous presidency. So they could have easily cleared this up. And even if they're like, oh, well, the Democrats messed with the files while they were in the last 4 years. Okay, prove it then. Bring me a thing that shows that file was altered 20 times in the last 4 years while like you were out of office. You know, something that shows that from the day Epsteen died until now, there were multiple edits in there because they track all that. Every time somebody checks those things in and out, there's a record of it in the government. Fucking prove it. I don't know, man. I'm losing, well, I never really had trust to begin with, but I'm losing even more trust in like the quote unquote transparency of this administration that they said they were going to do. And, you know, again, Trump's done some good things that I like and I'm in favor of, but he's also been backtracking a lot of things. So under the guise of this news cycle, when all this shit's going on back and forth, we started providing weapons to Ukraine again, too. He was like, we're not going to give them weapons. And they're like, actually, no, we're going to give them weapons. We're going to give them 8 new Patriot systems. Do you know what the Patriot system is?
The missiles?
No, the air defense system. So we have the there's the Patriot missiles, but the Patriot air defense system is what they're for, and it defends wide ranges of targets, including against drones. So I think we have 3 of them over there right now, and they're doing crazy work. And now we're going to give them 8, and it's like, where do we even get these 8 from? But like the fact that he went from like, oh no, we're not going to support you anymore. You gotta figure this out. To now we're gonna like double down to a level that's like definitely like we're involved. It's such a weird like backtrack on that. We've had all the crypto stuff going on right now, where people aren't talking about it, and some of it doesn't really matter. 2 of the crypto bills deal with like the way it's treated and how you get taxed on it. The one that's really good that people aren't really talking about is there's a bill that blocked central bank digital currencies, so we'll never get a Fed coin. And the reason why the central bank digital currencies are dangerous is because the way crypto works is we talked about many episodes ago. I forget which one, but look it up, boys and ladies.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier this week. They were talking about the Digicoin stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, or digital federal currency. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, the whole point of the digital currency is it's like they can't shut it down. And he's like, well, no, because people shut. I'm like, oh, no. Crypto. I was saying, like, yeah, crypto is like the anti that, so it can't be shut down. Yeah, I would be against a regular federal currency that's all digital.
Well, not that it's all digital per se, because all of our money more or less is digital right now at banks. Most people, with fractional reserve banking, banks only have to have, they lowered it now. They only have to have 3% of their assets on hand.
Oh my God.
And it was 5%, and they only upped it to 5% because of the crash in 2008. Fucking great. So it's down to 3% of their assets. So if their assets are worth $1 trillion, they only need to have 3% of that on hand as not even cash, but as actual like liquid assets.
Jeez.
It's just insanity. So you know, the nice thing about that is the issue with the central bank digital currency is crypto is fully traceable and logged. This is the benefit of it. Everybody knows what everybody else did, and the transactions are marked, so you know, okay, I sent you this much crypto, you sent me this much crypto, everything's completely tracked. And that's the danger of a central bank digital currency. They would know exactly everything you did, everything you spent your money on, and there would be no way to like, not necessarily hide it, but there's no way to be like, oh yeah, how about you give me like $300 and I'll come over and help you like move this weekend or some shit like that. Which again, technically you should report, but you know, people don't, or you know, and again, you shouldn't be doing this, but people doing like questionable activities, that money would all be tracked and people would know exactly where it would go. But not only that, you could implement, and China does this, you could implement a social credit score like along with these things. That like if you had wrong think, we would punish you for it and be like, okay, well you can't trade on the network because you're thinking the wrong way. And we don't want interests that are not the U.S. to control these things because again, everybody gets confused. They're like, the Federal Reserve is federal. No, it's a independent multinational bank that prints our currency for us. We get money from them and we pay them interest on a loan back for that money to run the fucking government. We don't control the printing of our own money.
Huh.
Yeah, every Federal Reserve like mint is actually a bank printing money for us. We haven't printed our own money since I think 1910.
Interesting.
JFK tried, and we saw what happened to him. Allegedly. But yeah, so that got passed this week during that, which is very good. And then ICE has really been ramping up its raids too, while all this has been like not talked about. They've been going into a lot more like work facilities now and getting people that are here illegally. And be like, okay, get the fuck out of here. So people theorize that like maybe he did the Epsteen thing to kind of like just smoke and mirror the whole stuff. But I think that's too 4D chess. I really think he just made a blunder. And I think he underestimated how much people care about this. Now, I will say your average voter doesn't give a shit. Most normal people don't fucking care. And I think the funny thing is during this whole Epsteen thing where approvals ratings been going down, I think with independents and the younger generation, his approval rating with Gen X has been going up. Which tells me that Gen Xers are moving into the boomer level category of like age. Where they're just like, we don't care about you fucking young whippersnappers. Go fuck yourself. Where's our money? Like... Because Gen Xers are getting older. I think the oldest Gen Xer now is in their 50s?
Yeah.
Look it up. Look up the ages of Gen X, man.
I'm not Jamie.
Get on there, Jamie. You Googleize that for me. Stanley Kubrick.
1965 to
Holy
1980.
Shit. Okay, so they're in their 60s now. Right? 65, yeah, they're in their 60s now.
40, 50, 60, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 60 years, right? 1965 to now they'd be 60 this year. So holy shit, God, that makes me feel so old. The oldest Gen Xers are now entering their retirement age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't care anymore. They're like, we don't pay attention to this shit. We're too busy like raising kids and seeing people off to college and trying to figure. So they're like Epsteen who? Like what? Some guy that died? He was a creep? Like that's how the average like voter sees it. But he's losing a shit ton of independents that are like, no, I voted for you because I wanted transparency and you said you were going to release these things. And then you tell me, oh, not only am I not going to release it, it's a hoax. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's not a hoax. There might not be a client list. That's fine. But again, prove it. Just release proof.
Like something happened. He was arrested for a reason.
Yeah. Like, and yeah, that proof might take different forms. And again, not everybody's going to like it. Proof has been given for a lot of these things over the years. And there's still people who are like, nah, I don't believe that shit. Which is fine. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But at least if you drop the proof, then it's like, okay, we gave you proof. You didn't like it. We're moving on. And that's fair. But this was like, we said we were going to give you proof. We had a bunch of people at the White House with a binder that said phase 1 of this release. And then we're like, Oh yeah, there is no phase 2. Phase 2 is go pound sand. It's like, what the fuck? What are you guys talking about? Like, this is. He's like, this Epstein. The Epstein's the only guy that never dies because we keep just bringing this shit up. Yeah, because people care. This is a fucking huge implication of like the guy that was hobnobbing with some of the most powerful people in the world, scientists, businessmen, political leaders, was also engaged in underage like sex trafficking. Like, what the fuck? We want to know, was there cross-pollination here? Did people know? Like, what the fuck?
Was that a solo quest or a raid?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, was he off on his own side quest? Like, you know, and it didn't involve the group? Like, what's going on here? Like, we need to know. So, I don't know. I'm disappointed in the way that it was handled. But again, I voted for Trump not because I was like thought he was the best candidate, because it's like the difference between a turd and a shit sandwich. You know, like the quote South Park. Both times I wanted somebody else. This last time I wanted Vivek to win. I think Vivek would have been awesome.
No, it was a giant douche in a shit sandwich, right?
Yeah. Sorry, giant douche in a shit sandwich. Turd sandwich. Yeah. They shit on TV.
Well,
but,
I mean, South Park did like, what was it, 100 times in that episode?
Yeah. So like already, like I didn't fully back what he's doing, or like I don't like the way that he acts all the time. I get it. He's got a big ego. He likes to be the biggest one in the room. But the problem is, like, a lot of people like that don't have the humility to go back and be like, yeah, I was wrong. I fucked up. So they just double and triple down. And in this case, it's really hurting him by doubling and tripling down. And again, it hasn't been that long yet, but, you know, he's only got till probably the midterms to make moves. And then after that, if he continues this kind of trajectory, they'll lose the midterms. And then that'll be it. We'll have probably 2 years of just impeachment trials again. And life will continue as normal, folks, because no matter what happens, they don't give a fuck about you. The wheel goes on and on and on. And if you watch Game of Thrones, you get that reference. And Trump is,
or the Wheel of Time.
And Trump is 100% our Daenerys right now, going just mad queen more and more all the time. It's like, oh, come on. You're supposed to be the chosen one. You're supposed to be balance in the force, not destroy it.
Too far, Joffrey.
Yeah, man. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's been rough to see, but I really like how many people that I watch and listen to that I consider more centrist or like center right, or like, again, both sides of the aisle now are like, yeah, no, tell us what the fuck happened. And I'm proud of people for that, because a lot of people could have just rolled over and been like, nah, fucking trust the guy, just like trust the science. No. I'm like, we want to know what the fuck happened. And I like that, because I like to know that I am, well, not necessarily the party. The Republican Party's kind of weird. But I like to know that I follow a bunch of people that are independent thinkers and aren't just going to be like, yeah, I'm going to follow the fucking crowd on this one. No. Don't lie to my face. Don't tell me that, you know, there's 5 lights when there's only 4. If you get that Star Trek reference, you're a super nerd.
I don't.
Oh, never seen that episode?
No. I watched the JJ movies, but I never watched the show.
You never watched Next Generation, like when you were a kid? The reruns on TV all the time, dude, with fucking Picard?
Yeah. I've seen a handful of episodes of probably like all of the older versions of the shows, but
yeah.
No, the only things I've actually watched were the new movie.
Dude, people are going to hate me. Trekkie fans don't come for me, but Picard is so much better.
My mother says they're called Trekkers, not Trekkies.
Truckers?
Trekkies apparently is derogatory.
I stand by my statement then. Don't come for me, but I like Picard better. There's a fucking a lot of people that debate over like original gen versus next gen. I grew up with Picard, man. I like Picard. I don't know anything about the originals really. I've watched the remakes of the originals, but like the original ones, I never watched any of that. Other than like knowing the Will Shatner's acting in that was very funny.
I don't know about the shows themselves, but I will say I'll take Sir Patrick Stewart over Will Shatner.
Yeah. So, but they're so the premise of that was Picard gets captured in the one episode, and they're trying to brainwash him the whole time. And he's in a room, and they're like, "How many lights are there?" And there's 4 lights, and he's like 4, and they're like, "No, there's 5." And they're basically trying to break him the whole time to basically be like, "No, there's 5 lights." And in the very end, even when they think they broke him, and they're like dragging him out as the crew frees him in the end, it's like, how? And he's like, 4 lights. And it's just like a badass thing of like, you're never gonna break me into lying about the truth.
Okay.
So that's how I feel with this situation right now. You're trying to tell me there's 5 lights when there's 4. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, there's 5 lights now. But like, no. I can accept that you're doing good things and there's bigger things we gotta focus on. But also, I want to continue to focus on this thing. Because he also could have said, you know what, guys, we don't have time for this right now. We're trying to do bigger and better things. It was a mistake to try to release this as quickly as we were trying to. We need more time on it. Bear with us. Give us more time. You'll get it eventually. But for now, look at all this great shit that I'm doing. Like, and that would have been amazing, because the thing that people aren't talking about right now that was also fucking amazing, and the ice cream companies were the latest ones added to the list. A whole laundry list of American food companies have now decided to remove artificial ingredients, artificial food dyes, and artificial sweetener stuff from their foods.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're not gonna get fake food coloring in things anymore. We're not gonna get these fake sweeteners. Like, one of them was gonna remove the high fructose corn syrup from all of their stuff. Like, I was like, this is amazing.
No more sucralose or aspartame.
Yes, we're gonna make healthy products, and most of them committed to do it within the next year.
Wow.
So get ready, folks. When you go to see your stuff on the shelves, it might look a different color very soon. Because let me tell you, when the artificial food dyes are removed from your foods, it's not gonna look the same. It's not gonna look the same at all. When I was over there in Europe, a lot of American food products, when you get it over there, it's not the same color. And that's because they can't use the same food dyes, so.
Now make the chip bags the same size as the amount of chips in them.
Oh my God, you think that's bad? I was looking at your like protein powder shit. Why does it come in such a big tub for it to be 50% empty space?
Yep. Yeah, it's half empty. Yeah.
Like, what's that for? Like, from a packaging standpoint, it doesn't make sense, because, like, I get it. They're trying to sell you at a price point, but they're losing so much money on making that packaging so big. And unlike potato chips, where you could kind of get away with it because, like, okay, there's air in the bag, quote unquote, to protect the chips so they don't get crushed. Yes and no. I can believe that to a degree. Under protein powder, why do they need so much air?
They do sell them in different sizes, so it's possible that
they just use sizes, one uniform container and then fill it to different levels.
Maybe. I'd have to confirm that by buying one of the bigger sizes, but it's possible.
That might make more sense from a standpoint of like, okay, then everything, then everything's homogenized, including your labeling and whatnot. But like, if that's not the case, why? Like, I was like looking at it, I was like, why the fuck is that mostly empty? There's like nothing in that protein powder container. Because I was like, damn, how much protein shakes is you making? I was like, no, not that much yet. What the fuck?
I wasn't really paying attention when I initially bought it, and I bought the tub, and I'm like, okay, $30 for this. Yeah, that makes sense. And then it wasn't until like I got it home, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, okay, this many scoops, and then it says this many servings per, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm only gonna get like 20 days worth of this. So I'm like, Jesus
you
Christ.
Open it, you're like, oh, it's half full, of course. 20 days is kind of steep. I think that other peanut butter thing that I had in there that is expired now because I didn't eat it. But I think that one was like $30, and I think it's for 60 days.
Yeah. I mean, I knew when I bought it, it was a fairly expensive one, but I intentionally bought that one because it got really good reviews on the taste. Yeah. And I purchased it as much because I wanted to have something that was a tasty snack that has low calories as much as like a decent protein powder. Like, I didn't even really care about the actual like protein macros and stuff in it. I just wanted something that was like sweet that I could have as like a low calorie snack after dinner. So it serves that function. It might be a little bit more expensive than some of the other protein powders, but I'm okay with that because it does what I want. It actually tastes really good.
Yeah, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the healthy foods. I'm excited about healthier vaccines coming down the pipeline. Really, really on board with that one. because, and again, talk to your doctor for all medical stuff, including nutrition. We're just two idiots talking on the internet.
Well, he is.
Talk to sometimes.
No, I mean an idiot.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm definitely an idiot. I'm not the smartest person in the world by any means. I just read a lot, and I like to talk a lot of shit. But no, I'm excited for the healthier vaccines, where we're going to start stripping out some of these ingredients that are only there to basically renew patents. And I've been talking about this for a long time in my personal life. You
mentioned that before in a previous episode.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan of the vaccine technology. It's one of the greatest technologies that we ever came up with in the world. We did it here in the U.S., baby. Revolutionary War. We created the smallpox vaccine. Fun fact.
Did I mention my little tidbit about penicillin when we talked about the shit on our other podcast?
No. What's your...
So I had saw that apparently we almost didn't get penicillin.
Yes.
They when they were testing it, they had the choice between testing it on rats or guinea pigs, and penicillin is apparently like deathly allergic for guinea pigs. So if they had chosen guinea pigs instead of rats, they would have gone, "Oh, this doesn't work," and we wouldn't have gotten it.
Well, and not only that, we had a hard time actually making it until somebody went to the produce section at their grocery store and found it actually growing on produce there. And they were like, "Oh, okay, this is how we get it." Because they were having a hard time actually growing it. They were like, "We can't replicate this culture here." And then they did it in the produce, and now we shipped all our penicillin manufacturing over to India because we're fucking idiots. But that's a whole topic for another day. But yeah, vaccine technology is some of the greatest technology that we've ever invented. The problem is we don't keep it to a very safe standard because of the fact that we keep adding chemicals to it to renew patents. And I would really be okay with having corporate lifetime patents for vaccines if it meant that we didn't keep introducing new things into them in order to extend patents. Mm-hmm. What?
I don't know, and amend them there somehow. I'm not fully against the idea, but a lifetime patent is, I don't know.
Of their specific formula, and then there's generics. There's always generics of things. Okay. Yeah. Because they have like times running out of the stuff. But I mean lifetime of the corporation. So as long as the corporation exists, the patent continues forward.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason, a corporation gets bought out, then either the patent goes back to public use, or the corporation buying them also has to buy those patents in some form or fashion.
No, as long as it's generic, I don't care.
Yeah, but I just hate because, like, again, we're adding these things and there's not very extensive testing on this stuff because it's just like, okay, we're adding this grass chemical to this. And so because we're adding this grass chemical, we don't need to redo studies because it's grass. I talked about this in a previous episode. Grass is generally regarded as safe. So if something's considered generally regarded as safe, if you add it as an additive of something, you don't have to do any kind of like health or safety standard testing to be like, is this actually okay that I put this product in there?
Yeah, that's how like all the products of the GMCs get away with being like 90% sawdust.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of gone. Did GMC completely go bankrupt? I think they're gone, right?
I have no idea. You're going to make me look it up, aren't you?
Sorry, GNC, not GMC. GNC.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Driving those really health-conscious trucks.
Yeah, GNC. I think they went out of business, ironically, during COVID.
Huh. Yeah.
Killed a lot of
just getting it on Amazon instead.
They were having problems regardless, but there were a niche thing because it's like, oh, you can get all your health food stuff here, but other places started branching out all like the health food and the vitamins and whatnot. I mean, Christ.
You can get it all at ShopRite now too.
Yeah. You go to the grocery store now, the vitamin wall is insane. There's so much stuff that you can get, and it's like, that's another thing that's not really tested. The actual dosage that you're supposed to get of vitamins and the interaction between them and like mixing and matching them, which is, if you're going to take vitamins, folks, definitely talk to your doctor before you start a vitamin regimen. If you want to take a daily multivitamin, I think that's recommended by pretty much everyone. And, you know, you want to take a vitamin D, depending where you're at, it's probably okay. You're probably not going to take too much. But when you start
Vitamin
adding
D's
in like
nuts.
all these other like vitamins into your regime, like you could start having interactions with your other medications that you're on. You can start getting yourself unsafe levels of these things. And people don't even realize from the vitamins too, like, oh, I'm taking a vitamin. It must mean one pill. And then realize that, oh, like I think the fish oil that I take, it's actually the dosage is 3 a day. I don't do that at all, mostly because I don't like burping fish all the time. But yeah, certain vitamins like that, it's deceptive because you get, oh, I got 180 pills. It's a 180 day supply. Well, actually, there's 3 per day that you got to take. So
Gross. I just eat a spoonful of dirt every day. It's good enough for the trees.
yeah, I mean that works. You'd probably lose a lot of weight that way. The parasites would get you. If you've never had pinworms, it'll be fun. Just keep eating dirt. That's a nice one. Nothing like your poop wriggling.
Gross.
What, man? That's what happens. It's like kids eat dirt, they put the dirt in their mouths, and then they get pinworms from it. That's what happens.
What are pinworms?
So it's a common thing that happens to kids a lot is, again, they're outside playing in the dirt, and there's parasites living in the dirt, and they eat the dirt, they get the dirt in their mouths, they swallow it, and basically then those pinworms lay eggs in your intestines, and you crap them out, and it's just...
Wriggly poop.
Yeah, and then you have to take an anti-parasitic for a while. And not just the kid, the entire family, because it's easily like cross contaminated through like silverware and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so like if one person in your family gets pinworms, everybody's got to take the pill. And those things are nasty. They're giant like fucking horse pills, and it tastes horrible.
Did one of you have to take pinworm pills when you were a kid?
We had it happen twice. Not for me. Not for me both times, but it happens. You play out in the dirt and you don't wash your hands. You know, we grew up in the generation of like inside or out, and you get locked outside for a while, you know, whatever. It fucking shit happens.
Never happened to me. I never had wiggly poop.
You didn't play the dirt enough, man.
I guess my dirt was just cleaner.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not uncommon. Look it up, man. How many cases of pinworms in the U.S. per year? There's a lot. I think it's fairly common. It's like getting stomach bug as a kid, man. Well, I think this could be
40 million cases annually?
Yeah, but that's worldwide. Put it in the U.S.
Says in the United States.
Oh, yeah. There you go. See? You just got lucky.
Over 1 billion people infected worldwide.
Yeah. See? Pinworm most common in children, particular ages 5 to 11.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a common thing that happens to kids, man. You don't all get it, but like 40 million annually is a lot of people considering the fact that there's only 300 million here or 350 million in the US. So what is that? Like almost a third of the well, not a third. Like I don't know. Well, it's over 10%. Over 10% of the population annually is getting infected with pinworms.
Okay.
All I know is that the pill they give you sucks.
Big old horse pill.
Yeah, and I think you have to like chew it too.
Ugh.
It's not like one of the because you had to eat it with food and like chew it. If I remember correctly, I don't know. Shit happens, man.
Unless it was chewables because you were a kid.
Probably it was too
pills.
big to swallow, so we had to like chew it like with food.
I mean, a lot of kids don't like taking pills, so in lieu of a swallowable pill, they'll give them chewables, which isn't pleasant, but at least they'll choke it down.
I don't know. I remember it just tasted like shit. Mm-hmm. It was like terrible medicine taste. You're like, ugh.
And then there's also the fact that a lot of medicines taste like shit intentionally because people think if they taste good, they won't work.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, so they don't have to taste bad. They make them taste bad.
Well,
And then again, for children especially, if they tasted good, they would keep taking them. So
I don't know if they need to make them taste bad, but I would think from like an economic standpoint of like, okay, I'm gonna make this tablet or capsule with crushed together medicine. Am I really gonna spend the extra money to put sugar in there just to make it sweet for you? Or do I save the millions every year by not putting sugar in my product and say, fuck you, deal with the taste? It's not supposed to be pleasant.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, I'm fairly certain that I read shit that like it's like there are medicines that taste bad not because like the medicine itself tastes bad, but because they put shit in it to make it taste bad.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, just like what did they put the coating on the Switch games?
Is that
kids.
true?
No, it is. It's
That's
legitimate
actually true?
clue.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been videos of people who are like trying it, be like, "Is this really a thing?" And then they look at it, and they're like, "Oh!" They like coat it so the toddlers won't eat it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I've been curious of how much if that's just a nationwide hoax or if it's actually true.
No, it's like legit. I mean, I got Switch games upstairs. You want to lick one?
No, I'm good.
Come on, man. You don't want to see what it tastes like?
Feel free. I'll watch it.
No, I'm not gonna lick it.
We'll put it up on our channel.
No, why would I do that?
It'll be funny.
No, I already tortured myself enough this week by doing the pucker butt sauces with the pure Reaper stuff.
Gross.
Ew, Giddis, don't lick me. Stop licking me all the time.
He's saying hi.
Say hi up there. But no, fucking got to try some pucker butt sauces on Friday.
Was it a brand?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever watch Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Pucker Butt's the one that makes I'm pretty sure they're the one that makes the last dab sauce from them. They're the Pepper X people.
Okay.
But we tried another one of those Pepper X sauces, just like I had it with the last dab too. Pepper X is not hot. It's weak sauce, and the last dab when I tried it tasted like fucking honey mustard.
To you maybe.
No, to like everybody that tried it. I tried it and I was like, this isn't hot. And multiple people in the office tried it too, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not. I think the last dab seems like it's hot because it's always followed up by Da Bomb. We tried Da Bomb and it was like chemical warfare because you had it and you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then within 10 minutes, it crept up on you so much that you were like, oh my God, I'm fucking dying. Like, and that's why I think like anything past Da Bomb and the hot ones isn't that hot. It's only, it's accentuated by Da Bomb. And I know that one's bad because we tried it the one time and I have zero desire to try it again.
Interesting.
Well, you know me. I like hot stuff, but if it's just like, if it's hot for no reason or it doesn't have flavor or it's chemically, I don't like that shit. But the other ones were like Reaper concentrate, like almost puree. The one hot sauce that the guy brought in was so thick that like when we like poured it out, it was more like tomato paste. Like so it was just like pepper puree.
Was it good?
It was okay. Like it's just straight Carolina Reaper more or less. So that shit burned going all the way down. I like that. Like you could feel it. Like I could feel it going down through my intestines. It's probably not good for me. I'm probably gonna like wear a hole in my insides one day. But I what I want to do is combine it with that Elijah's Extreme hot sauce that I have, and then it'll give it like it'll make it thicker, but it'll give the flavor of the Elijah's combined with the hotness of like just the Reaper puree, and I think it'll be amazing.
You have fun with that.
I'll complete my final form of becoming Johnny Storm.
I'll stick to my mild.
Well, I'm going to bring them into work to try them, but you'll probably like some of those. Did you see my Yellowstone hot sauce thing from Elijah's out there?
I don't remember.
Hold on. You keep talking to the ether. I'm going to go grab it because I want to show you.
I don't want to talk to the ether. The ether scares me.
Talk to him.
I don't want to. I did not, in fact, talk. I paused it.
All right, folks, I'm back. He didn't feel like talking to you because he's lame. But yeah, so I got the Yellowstone TV show hot sauce pack from Elijah's Extreme.
Okay.
We are not sponsored by them, but Elijah, if we ever get big enough, you want to sponsor us, shout out because you guys make amazing sauce. But so the 4-pack is the roasted pepper, the ghost pepper, the reaper, and the garlic habanero. Believe it or not, the on their spicy scale, the ghost pepper is the hotter sauce than the reaper sauce.
Okay.
So, but I'm excited to try all of these on Monday, and then the good ones I'm going to bring home, and the shitty one I'm going to leave in the office. But
you have fun with that.
No, you'd probably like one of these ones. They're not all of them are hot. Both the garlic habanero and the roasted pepper one are supposed to be like mild sauces. They're flavorful. I like flavor with my hot sauces. It's not just heat all the time. I like the heat, but like I like the flavor. Yeah, because there's Enemies by Morning, which is the roasted pepper hot sauce. That one I think was like a 1-star. And then the garlic habanero, which is just a garlic habanero hot sauce. And that's the Sins of the Father. It'd be good. The ones that are going to be problems are the Venomous Strike, which is the Reaper sauce. Again, not the hottest one. And the Rancher's Revenge, which is the ghost pepper one, which is supposed to be like the really, really hot one.
Enjoy. I'll have ranch.
You can have both, man. I'm just amazed that this made it here. Did I tell you the journey of this stupid fucking package? And USPS, and I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Dude, this thing, I was supposed to get this on the 9th of July, right? Uh-huh. It arrived 2 days ago on the fucking 18th because it left the Carolinas where this is made, and it was on its way to New Jersey, and it shipped, like, we had those storms, right? And there's like, oh, there might be delays because of the storms. I'm like, okay. Cool, that makes sense. Whatever. And then I'm like, what the fuck happened? Where'd the tracking go? It went from, like, we expected to be delivered on the 9th to all of a sudden there was, like, no information going on about the package. And then it was like, we have received your package in Seattle, Washington. they shipped it to fucking Seattle, Washington. And I thought they lost it because it stayed there for, like, fucking 5 days. And then they shipped it back over here, right? They shipped it to fucking Trenton. It was in Trenton, and it stayed there for a day, and then they shipped it up to Jersey City. And then stayed in Jersey City for another 4 days, and then they finally, like, put it out for delivery. But I was like, what the fuck is going on? Where is this thing gone to? Honestly, if it had been like another couple of days, I was going to call them up and be like, I'm pretty sure they lost my package. Can you send me another one or refund me? Because what the fuck? And then I was legitimately concerned with how, like, far it had gone and, like, back and forth. And because it was in a fragile package, I thought these things were going to be broken. I was expecting to come home to have these things shattered. But they made it.
You finally got it.
They made it in one piece, and I am excited to try them on Monday.
You know the microphone you sent back to Road for me?
Yeah.
So you dropped it off to UPS on the 12th.
Yeah.
And on the 19th, it said on the way.
Yeah.
it took them 7 days just to ship it out from the facility. That's ridiculous.
UPS, I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Yeah. No, I was getting ready to call Road and be like, yo, you got an update on my fucking shit? I sent it over a week ago.
We sent it ground, but
turns out I just left the facility.
Dude, that was the one I dropped off that same day with the other package for work at the UPS thing, like, around the corner. It took that long for them to, like, ship it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it took them 7 days just to ship it out of the facility.
That is crazy.
Like, I was legit getting ready to call Road and be like, yo, what's fucking up? And then I looked up the track and I'm like, oh no, they haven't gotten it yet.
I have no proof of this, and this is pure speculation, so UPS don't come for me. But we were talking about this, and we were, like, looking it up, like, what the hell's going on with UPS right now? Because they fucked up my modem thing so bad too. Mm-hmm. The one that I returned to Whole Foods and that was supposed to, like, make it from the Whole Foods in Hamilton to Annville, New Jersey. That's all that it needed to go. It bounced around New Jersey like 8 different times. And eventually it got to the point where the tracking said like, yeah, we don't know what the fuck happened to this. Contact like whoever the sender or receiver is to see if they got it. So I reached out to Amazon and they're like, yeah, you gotta wait. And I was like, but it says they lost it. They're like, no, you gotta wait. So like I did their whole customer service rigmarole and they're like, you have to wait 30 days. And I was like, God damn it. And then like within an hour, Amazon reached out to me like, yeah, your refund has been confirmed because UPS lost it. Dude, they lost it going from Hamilton to Anvil, New Jersey. It's fucking insane. I was like, what the hell is going on with UPS? I wonder because UPS is having horrible tracking issues right now and losing packages left and right. And I know they've been upping the ICE raids to different businesses and whatnot. I wonder if ICE came in and raided UPS and they found a bunch of people and that's why they're in complete disarray right now.
Possibility.
It's my running theory. I have not found anything to the contrary right now. But yeah, like there's been multiple, like if this was Down Detector, the bar would be like through the roof. Like people are having massive issues with UPS right now. And I don't even know if it's necessarily their fault. They probably just went in and are like, yeah, we ran the social security records of all these people and they're not legit. Because that was a fun one and a topic we might have for another day. I discovered that like, you know how like when you work for a company, they have to file all the paperwork with the background checks and all your ID requirements and whatnot. Well, that filing that they do doesn't get reported upwards to the federal government. You just maintain it for if they come a knocking. And they say, hey, here's the documentation. And they say, okay, cool. And then they run the documentation and they go, no, these people don't belong here. Or they're committing fraud because I know a guy that like working at a previous place had that experience happen where the guy actually paid a guy in prison for his social security number and stuff so that he could work for the company. And then the guy got out of prison and tried to get a job like somewhere else and it like flagged the system because they're like, how are you working at both of these places right now? That doesn't make sense. Especially because you were supposed to be in jail for the other place that you were working for all this time. So, like, it's not just illegal stuff, but, like, this kind of fraud happens all the time. So I wonder if, like, there's something going on there. I don't know. But shipping has been, like, shipping has been really fucked up recently. And I just, like, I wonder what's going on. It's probably not that, guys. It's just me, like, my ruminations. And I think it's very funny to think that. But, again, UPS, don't sue me.
The individual Amazon trucks are doing great, though.
Well, yeah, Amazon's doing great, but that's why I couldn't believe it because, like, dude, the last time I dropped off a return at Amazon, it was back to the Amazon facility like the next day, and this time it went from Hamilton to Edison to like North Jersey to Edison to back out to Edison, like back and forth, and then eventually it's like, yeah, contact the sender or receiver and see if they got it. If not, you would need to contact us about a refund. I was just like, are you kidding me? And I spent a frustrating amount of time with Amazon's customer service to be like, what do I do here? And they're like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but what if it's lost? They're like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I need in writing if they lost the package once I dropped it off to you, you're going to give me a refund and fill. And then they're like, yes, but it's going to be after 30 days. I'm like, okay, as long as you confirm if it's lost, you're going to refund me in full. Because that thing, since it's over a certain dollar amount, they need to receive it back, or it like says in their terms and conditions, if they don't get it, they might give you like a partial or no refund at all. And I'm like, hey, I want that fucking money back. Please let me know what's going on. And like I said, an hour afterwards, they just completely refunded that.
There you go.
I also find it funny too, speaking of that whole thing, that my best experience with Comcast was canceling Comcast. I literally walked into the Comcast with the modem, and the guy's like, how can I help you? I was like, I need to return this. I need to cancel my service. And he's like, I can help you with both. I was like, okay, cool. I was expecting him to give me this like big long speech about like, why are you canceling? Can I stop you from canceling? All he said was like, do you like need to cancel, or is this just like a pause because you're like changing like places or what? And I was like, no, cancel. He's like, okay. I didn't have to sign nothing. It was just like done. I was like, oh, this is way more pleasant than your other customer experience that I had to deal with. It's so funny. They texted me today. They're like, can you fill out the surveys while you left? No, I'm not going to do that.
And if I do, you don't want me to.
Yeah. You don't want to know why. You good there, Gaddis?
Yeah, you just lay down. Just relax and leave him alone.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was honestly like dreading going in there to cancel. I was preparing to be like sat down for like 30 minutes to try to like convince me, like, you sure you want to cancel this? You sure you want to switch services? And they're like, no, done. I was like, do I need to sign anything? He's like, nah. The only thing that was a problem was the cable boxes were still showing up that I returned years ago. I was like
you said they would be.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I can't handle that. That's like billing. And I was like, okay. And then I just reached out to them on the app and I was like, yeah, I returned these years ago. And they're like, okay, what store? And I was like, the store I was just at. And like, okay. I'm like, it's been removed.
Good.
I was like, thanks. Because they probably looked at my history and they're like, yeah, no cable box connection has been made at that residence in like 10 years. It's like, yeah, I've never hooked those things up. I think when I first got service, I hooked it up for like a month. And then after that, I just disconnected because I watch everything on my phone. Oh, which, dang, we've gone super long here. But I'm also super excited about, and I probably won't be here next week for the next podcast, but the week after it should be here. I'm excited for the 7Z Fold to come in to get that foldable phone. I told you I pre-ordered that, right? Yeah. It's going to ship the 25th, and then I should hopefully have it. And I was laughing because, you know what's the funniest thing ever? That is the most current like phone that I've had since the Samsung Galaxy S5 came out. That is the last time I bought a current flagship phone. Since then, I have kept phones for so long, and like even when I replace them, I buy like older like model things. This will be the first time in, I want to say like 10 or 12 years that I've had a current phone. When did the Galaxy S5 come out?
I'm not Jamie.
Look it up. You gotta put release date, man.
Yeah. Fuck off.
2014? Really?
Yeah. 2014.
Yeah.
11 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I was close. Yeah, so 11 years ago was the last time I had a current like flagship phone.
I love having flagship phones. I've got the 25.
Dude, I missed that S5 though, because the best part was that was like the last phone I had where the back came off and you could remove the battery. So good when it got locked up. You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna reset this right now. Yoink the battery out.
You could go off grid.
Yeah, well, or like your battery life became shit and you just bought another battery. I miss those days. They've taken that from us.
Unfortunately. There's a couple of brands out there that still do the modular.
But I'm super excited for the 7-fold because it's their thinnest one yet. And the reviews that I've seen on it, like the one guy's like, this is like foldable phone nirvana. They're like, the guy was like, the 7 is like where they finally perfected the foldable phone. And he's like, I wish it was more affordable because everybody would love it. What are you looking up?
I can't remember what the episode was, but the thin thing from Doctor Who.
Oh, the 2D people. Yeah. The flat one, the flatline one.
You just made me think of that. I was just gonna bring up the image, but it did not bring up the image I wanted it to.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what that one was called, that episode, so long ago. But yeah, I'm excited for the foldable phone. It's going to be great.
We'll talk about that next time.
Well,
or the time after that.
In 2 weeks, probably. Yeah, we'll see. Next weekend, it's going to be an interesting weekend. We're going to be very busy.
This has been a really long one, folks. I'm glad you've made it this far.
Yeah, well, the one where I actually do the full research will probably be an even like longer one because I really want to go like deep into that. And I'll probably mix it with like the Diddy stuff too, because I really want to go to the Diddy files as well.
He didn't do it, did he?
Apparently he did some of it. He just didn't do all of it. I'm not gonna laugh. But really, the thing I want to investigate is why you need pallets of baby oil. but that's
Can't pass up a deal, man.
Yeah, that's a talk for another time. But anyway, as always, folks, if you made it to the end here and you like what we do, give us a follow, a like, a subscribe, comment. All that stuff helps. And you can find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify.
Adios, folks.
See ya.